Whether it be freshwater or salt, your ability to cope with the wind is going to have a huge impact on your overall enjoyment and the opportunities in which you can fish. Probably more important are your safety concerns, and that is, on a windy day, the last thing that you want to do is plant a 2-0 clouser in your head, your buddy's head, or even worse, into your guide's head. If you're casting on a windy day, there are a number of things you can do, and some involve simple gear adjustments. So now would be the time that you'll grab your fast, stiffer rod. You can go up a line size, go to a heavier line with more mass, go to a shorter leader, put on a heavier fly perhaps. I'd suggest that we just adjust our casting stroke a little bit. So now's the time to go back to Bill Gamel's 5 Essentials. When you're dealing with the wind, you need to know the 3 L's, and they are loop size, line speed, and line plane. So in a nutshell, what we need to create here are sharp, pointy loops. Remember, they're aerodynamically efficient, they're going to help cut through the wind. We need line speed, again sufficient line speed to form those tight loops, slice through that wind. And the last one is line plane or trajectory. And this is where we need to angle our forward cast down onto the water. We're going to have a high back cast. The reason we're angling down is we just want to get the fly out there and on the water as soon as we possibly can. And the main reason that we're casting low and onto the water isn't because there's any less wind there. If there was less wind there, we wouldn't have any whitecaps. The fact is, we just want to get the leader to turn over and the fly to lay down as soon as we possibly can. If we had a high forward cast, that's when the wind's going to just blow everything back into our face, and that additional hang time is really going to end up in birds' nests. So, casting into the wind, low forward cast, high back cast, high line speed, this is when you're going to be really double hauling, and pointy loops. If you have to deal with the wind that's coming from behind you, the technique is exactly opposite than when we were dealing with our headwind. So now we want to throw a really high forward cast and a low back cast. Now those two casts should always be around 180 degrees from each other. That high forward cast is just going to be grabbed and picked up by the wind and straightened out for us. If it really starts to get windy and you've got a howling gale, that's when you want to do a roll cast. No back cast, so you're not going to worry too much about getting hooked up there, and that forward cast roll, the wind's going to carry that and straighten it right out for you. The real safety concern is when we have a wind that's blowing into our casting shoulder. Now, the windier it gets, the more dangerous things become, and eventually it's going to blow some line and a fly into your face or body somewhere. Now, dealing with this is actually relatively simple. What we have to do is always have the line and the fly on the downwind side. The simplest way to do that is simply take your rod tip and cant it over the side of your body so that all the line and the fly is on the downwind side. If it gets really, really windy, a good way to deal with it is simply turn around and cast backhand. Generally speaking, an off-shoulder wind shouldn't be too much of a concern for you. So an off-shoulder wind, for me being a right-hand caster, is the one that starts on my left-hand side and blows across my body. So with that wind, the stronger that it gets, the safer I get. It essentially carries the line and the fly away from me. However, it is a safety concern for the people that I'm fishing with, particularly if I'm fishing from a boat.